Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the Boomerang Biker channel. Now, I've had the GSA for about 18 months now, and one of the things that's really annoyed me during that time is the BMW GPS Sat Nav mounting bracket. Now, I had no intentions of buying the Nav 6 from Garmin because it's a piece of all the reviews online say it's just not worth the money. Problem is, if you don't buy that GPS, they give you a blanking plate and you've got to stare at that while you're riding the bike. It's kind of like when you buy the poverty model car and they give you those blanking switches in the dashboard. You get a constant reminder that you didn't buy the car that you really wanted. Now, over the last 18 months, I've tried several different options for mounting the phone on the bike. I've tried this spider type clamp with a rubber mount on it. That's kind of fiddly and it's not a one-handed operation. I also bought this thing from AliExpress for about $15 and it just rattled away there, so there's an obvious reason it only costs $15. Now, there's a guy out in Nevada, he rides a GSA and I follow him regularly. He's actually replaced this with a quad lock setup. So I've gone ahead and purchased all the items that I need to do that, and today I'm going to be doing an install. So if you want to get rid of this ugly monstrosity, stay tuned to the video. Okay guys, thanks for staying tuned. The next thing we'll do is go through the items that you'll need to purchase and install in order to complete the setup. Obviously, the first thing you're going to need to get is a case for your phone. Now, I'm using a Samsung S10 Plus. It's quite an old phone, but I've got a lot of data on there and I can't be bothered with the hassle of changing it, so I'm going to stay with that for the time being. So you'll need a dedicated phone case, and you can actually see the mounting mechanism at the back. Now, I've been on a few Facebook groups and forums and people whinge that that's a thick case. Now, I come from an era where a phone was a lot bigger than this. Take a look. See what I mean? Okay, so to me, I don't see that as being a thick case. The next thing you're going to need is a scooter motorcycle mirror mount. Obviously, we're not going to put this on the mirror. It's designed to go on the stem there, but the GPS mounting bracket is a similar diameter, plus you get some packers, 3 packers, just to space things out and tighten it up. Now, you could at that point just stay with that setup and put your phone on there. What I'm going to do is go a step further, or a couple of steps further. I'm going to put in, for a bit of security, a mounting bracket, a vibration dampener that goes onto the mounting bracket that hopefully will protect the phone and the camera. And then one step further than that, to make this a single one-handed operation, I'm going to fit in a wireless charger, which I'm going to wire into the DIN socket there. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is take off the factory BMW GPS mounting bracket. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is remove the blanking plate that covers all the internals when you're not using it, and you simply get your fingers in or a screwdriver and just prise that out. It just pops off. The next thing we'll need is a T20 Torx key, and we'll undo the 4 screws that hold the bracketry in place, or we'll loosen them off for a start. And before we remove that, just so things aren't dangling down, we'll go ahead and we'll cut off these cable or zip ties that secure the cable to the bar. So we'll undo the 4 screws, leave them a little bit loose for now, grab our side cuts, 1, 2 and 3 zip or cable ties, depending on where you live and what you call them. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is completely loosen the 4 sockets, T-sockets, and we'll take the whole unit off. Okay, so we might just fast forward through this, guys. So as you can see, I've loosened the nuts, cut off the cable ties, and then the cable tucks down behind there. Now I'm filming on my phone to try and get into a tight gap, and what you should be able to see down here in the bottom, if I can point to it, is where the cable comes in. We need to undo or cut that cable tie, zip tie, and disconnect. And then what we're going to do is use some electrical tape to seal up the end of the connector so we don't get water in there whilst we're not using that connector. But we're not going to cut anything off, so we could reinstall it someday if we need to. So this is what you'll see when you take out the cable tie and remove the electrical tape. I've just unplugged that from the bike. This is all in one unit, so we'll just feed that out from the bike, and we'll store that in a safe place just in case we want to reinstall it someday. Okay, so the first thing we'll start with is the scooter motorcycle mirror mount. So let's unpack that and we'll fit it onto this bar here. Okay, so once you've unpacked the contents, have a look at the 3 packers and try each one of them onto the bar to find out the best fit. Once you've got that on there, you'll need the U-shaped bracket that goes on the back, and then the front mount that goes on the top, and then you put in the 2 socket screws that come supplied with the mount. Now I've got to be careful here, I'm working on the gravel because the lighting's bad in my garage, so if I drop one of these I'll never find them again. So we'll put the first one in a couple of turns, like so. Grab the second one, and tighten that down. Not measuring anything, I'm just going to eyeball the center of the bar. Okay, once I've got the mounting bracket securely fastened, it's nice and tight. The next thing I've done is run the USB cable. So I've left a little bit of the slack at the back there, and I've used the supplied cable ties or zip ties, gone down the back of the frame, and that plugs in nicely into my DIN socket adapter. The next thing we'll do is grab the vibration dampener, and that comes with a captive bolt or socket screw, as you can see. These guys give you plenty of Allen keys as well, so we'll go ahead and tighten that right down, and you probably notice that each of the socket screws actually have Loctite on them as well. The next thing we'll do is grab the wireless charging head that sits on there, and you put the countersunk socket screw in, and we'll go ahead and tighten that all the way down. Okay, that's all nice and tight, but you'll notice that there is quite a bit of flexibility. I'm pretty sure that that is the characteristic of the vibration dampener. And then we'll plug in the waterproof lead. It is a little bit tricky around the back there. I'll throw up another angle so you can see how that fits in. Okay, so the next thing to do is grab the phone and give it a test try. Okay, let's fit the phone onto the charger. One hand operation, give it a turn, and it's locked in place. To release it, you pull on the back of the charger and release it like that. It's that easy. Okay, we'll put it on again, locked in place, and if we now turn on the ignition, hopefully we should get power and charge into the phone. Actually, it's a reminder, so there we go, there's the phone charging, and there is actually an on and off button just underneath on the charger. There you go, that's the view of the phone. Lines up nicely with the TFT from the riding position on the bike. Well, there you go guys, a reasonably easy install that took around 25 to 30 minutes all up. Anyway, if you found that useful, please do repay the favour and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for dropping by, ride safe and have a great day.